Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, president of the local chapter Martin Van Buren Lookalike Club. Yeah, you digging that? I don't know. That mask fits really well. Seals around the edges is good on the face. And hey, anytime I'm in public, I'm wearing a mask. And anytime I'm here, well, I don't give a fuck. So, suck on that one, I guess. In hand, I've got the freshly poured White House Honey Ale right off the tap. Tap here in the wall. Third Generation Brewing. You may notice this isn't the usual backdrop for Drinks with Ron. No, sir. In one of the last episodes, friend of the show, regular viewer, Eric, had commented, I had mentioned how I kept the beer cold, and he had commented that he'd always kind of wondered how I kept my 3 tap lines nice and chilled and ready to rock. So I thought, hey, what the fuck? Me and my Stugatz shirt here, telling you how I'm vaccinated, will take you behind the scenes at Third Generation Brewing. Show you how it works. You ready? Alright, strap in, you little motherfathers. I'm going to give you a tour. Over here, this is the aging cellar. I'm not going to show it to you. It's kind of messy, don't look real great right now. But I've got about 4 or 5 cases worth of beer sitting on the shelf, room temperature, aging, just waiting to be consumed. So that's over there along with some extra kits and beer supplies. Up top, empty 6-pack boxes. I've got Grolsch bottles and wine bottles up here. These are my beer caps, priming sugars, whatnot. Sanitizers, stoppers, tubes over here. I've got spare gas and beer line down here. Pile of yeast. Wine capping. More bottles back here. Everything's kind of self-contained in this room here. More brewing equipment. I got my carboys, my 6-gallon, 7-gallon buckets, whatever the shit they are. All my stuff's in here. So let me take you down the line. Let's go right in order, huh? Let's do it, huh? As George Carlin would say, huh? So, let's take a look. Look back here. Well, let's start up front because, you can see it. So this handsome gentleman here, this is my nitrogen. I bought it used from a guy off Facebook, like 35 bucks. The tank is crap. It probably needs to be pressure tested before I can have it refilled, but the top leaks, so I'm probably going to say screw it. But you'll notice over here, this is the regulator. It screws right into, this has got like a male end. You get it? They call it the male end, yeah? Yeah, you understand? Because it goes into the female end, you get it? Yes, it references. Anyway, the male end goes into the nitrogen tank. On the left here, this tells you how much pressure you've got, which means how much gas in the tank. On top here is this dial, which is how much you've dialed out. Same deal back here. This is my CO2. How much pressure or how much gas in the tank on the left. Output pressure up top. Right now I've got her set at about 10 pounds, 10 psi. When you carbonate something, usually, especially like the root beer, I like to crank up closer to 30 psi. You get like a stout or a porter, you usually want to keep them a little bit lower in the 10 range or so. This guy, I've probably carbonated him at about 20. I got a little bit of head there. It sticks around. Decent lacing on the glass. Yeah, it's all right. But here's the deal. Red line out here, that's my nitro, so that comes around. But the clear line coming out shows up to this beautiful bastard right here, my 2-way splitter. So you'll notice this guy's wide open, this guy's closed off. Well, I just finished carbonating my root beer. So when I do that, like I said, 30 psi on the dial here, I crank it up, which feeds out to the box. I wide opened it to my root beer, but I closed it off to my White House Honey Ale. Why, you ask? Well, because 30 psi, if you have your line all the way connected up to your tapper, there's kind of like a pressure release valve in there, and you crank it up to 30 psi, you're going to have beer spitting out your tappers, whether you're have them turned on or not. So, your best, you could either, I said, screw it. So what I did was just turned this one a little bit and let just the slightest amount of pressure through, which gave me 8 to 12 pound PSI, which is enough to feed beer out beautifully. But I think now that I've kicked this back down, we can open it up. And I had it pressurized already. Damn. So you're not going to get to hear the beautiful sound of the CO2 going in. But yeah, that's what so I've got my lines out here, clear in, 2 blue out, 1 red out. That feeds into this little monstrosity here, this little Frankenstein's monster. I got a $50 freezer online. You take the lid off, you remove the hinges, you build a little wooden collar around the top, you caulk it into place. Yeah, I know how you guys love the caulk. My audience, I know my audience, and you guys love the caulk. So, you caulk it up nice and good, you get that on there once it dries, you remount your hinges, you put the lid back on, and voila, as the French say. So, then you take your wooden collar here, and you pop 3 holes in the back, which is going to feed in your lines. So, here we go. Nitro in the middle, coming into 1 tank. Here's my 2 blue guys. I don't know if you can see them because I'm half-assed and I don't know what the camera's showing. And those are both CO2, all 3 hooked. 5-gallon keg, 5-gallon keg, 2.5-gallon keg. I'll pull them up and show you, but I'd probably create a mess. So there you get a little idea. Now, into the kegs, we've got everything pressurized. Don't believe me? Hey, check it out. That was a pressurized tank with CO2 in it. I let a little bleed out there. Oh, I let it all bleed out there. So, now it's into your tanks. You've got your CO2 going in. It's either carbonating, pressurizing, or just feeding temperature, or pressure. So you'll see these lines aren't very big. I got 3 of them. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, pop 3 more drill holes in, feed your line out. It's magical. Now we come back up here, and I told you before, now you get to hear the delicious sound of CO2 being fed. Oh, you hear that? That's science. That's science right there. Ooh, boy. Getting me all excited. So, the beer is kept cold. I've got my temperature box up here, set to Celsius, as I told you in one of the last episodes. I ruined the sensor, so I had to move it up to this collar, which means normally I keep it between 2 and 5 degrees Celsius. Feeds my beer out between 34 and 36, kind of right where I want it. But, you know, I had to move it up to the top of the collar. If you're going to get the air in this general area between 2 and 5 Celsius, the shit down here is going to freeze and not come out your tap lines. Don't ask me how I know. I just do. So we moved that up. We kicked it down between 8 and 10, but it's still feeding out my line between 34 and 36. You may have noticed these glorious little pieces of tool there. That is in case I need to remove either of these regulators, and then this guy is if I have to do any work on these lines, I can remove them there. Now we've got gas in, we got to get beer out. So I showed you the 3 holes, they all come out of here. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. So I told you very small lines. Some of them are exposed. You know, everything in here is obviously very chilled, but there's about 12 inches of line between the back of this cooler and the wall that aren't really chilled. So it kind of warms up in here. The saving grace is the lines are very tiny. You're only going to pump out about an ounce that's a little bit warm. If you're pouring a glass the size of this bastard, as I like to do, I figure to hell with it. The rest of the ice cold 34 degree beer is going to even that out. So yeah, there you have it. I use all my equipment over here. I do the brew. It ages in a carboy for 5-gallon bucket for 2 weeks. Goes to a carboy, which looks essentially like a, well, it's attached to a bucket. Essentially looks like a water bottle. Then a couple weeks in there, and then I dump them straight into the kegs. From there, the kegs get pressurized with the gas. The gas pushes them out the line, into the glass, into the wort hole. And that's it. I've taken you behind the scenes at the tasting room here at 3rd Generation Brewing, the 3GB tap room. as I like to call it once I've had a few beers. So yeah, stop on by sometime. Get a tap beer with me. And in fact, thanks for the view. You viewers there, I give you a virtual thumbs up. I'm gonna give you a real one too. This is an actual thumb. It's not like the ones you see in the emoji thumb. This shit's legit. But let me just say, I appreciate the views. Thanks for watching. In the comment section, feel free to leave a message. I will respond or give you a like. If I really like it, I'll click the little heart thing. I don't know why YouTube has a like and a heart. Apparently you like something or you love it. I guess we've got a distinction here. I shouldn't be complaining. But leave a message. Join the group. I will answer you. Keep an eye out for those instant premieres. I do premiere some episodes live. And if you're on them, I'll be in the chat room. Leave a comment. Comments, suggestions, ideas for the show. Just give me your 2 cents. Whatever. I'm just going to quit rambling and drink this beer so that I don't incur the wrath of Todd or have to pay $1 into my Drinks with Ron Fine bucket. So let me finish this bad boy off, and then I'm going to go eat some pork tenderloin and some fried potatoes, god damn it, because I think I'm starting to get drunk. So, for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron, signing off.